Mortal Group, what's going on? Okay, Magnificent. Hey, YouTube, what's going on? I'm going to transition you guys over to the Roadcaster in a second. So let me just go do that real quick. How's everybody doing? All right. Channel. All right. YouTube is good to go. We got so much technology in this house. I tell you, I turned my living room into a whole damn studio, but I ain't mad at it. All right. So folks, YouTube, what's going on? Let's share our screen real quick. If you guys are on the Facebook, I'm sorry, the Instagram live, I'm going to be sharing my screen, and I've got fire in this screen share. So y'all better click over and have both things running at the same time, because it's going to definitely be worth your time. I'm going to tell you that right now. So let's get into our subject. Let me put that out there first. Okay. And share screen. All right, folks are sharing screens. Let's do this. Application window. Boom. All right. All right. So we're ready now. Okay. So folks, today we're going to talk about a few things. Let's start off right off the bat. So how to invest in a pandemic. All right. This is very easy because, again, the setup is more important than anything else. You know, when you're investing, especially what we've been doing it, you know, we've been looking at certain industries, looking at small caps, looking at certain stocks in our portfolio. Last couple of weeks, they were all down, right? However, that's an opportunity to buy. We've talked about this the entire time. If the stocks that you have are currently going down in value, and there are stocks that are going to be, you know, making this long-term trip of 4 years at least minimally, double down on your investments, continue to add to your positions. That is what these moments are for. Anytime you have a downturn in the market, that's what these moments are for. I've seen my account portfolio go down by half, right? And I'm like, okay, buy more. Because again, when the stocks that I've selected decide to do what they're supposed to do, guess what? They're still going to go up. So it's about getting as many of them at the position that you're getting them at, right? So let me say hi to the folks. Bev, what's going on? Mortal Group, what's up? Amber Branch, hey, what's going on? Stay tuned on this. This is going to be a live episode. Okay, Chevy. Okay, I said hi to you. Janelle, what's up? Okay, NTH LLC, how you doing? All right, cool deal. Okay, so let's get into it. So in a pandemic, again, you're going to see the values go up and down. That's not what you should be concerned about. Just be concerned with how many shares you own of these stocks. If there are stocks that are going to survive, trust and believe, just continue investing. Now, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday. So if you're on our YouTube, you will see our broadcast. We are going to go over to this link right here. Copy that. All right, let's do it. I'm going to close up. Every window that I have that is not relevant to today is getting closed. All of them. Close, close, close. Cool. All right. Let's do this. All right. So Governor Cuomo signed into law yesterday, and then today, the legalization of cannabis. This is what we were waiting for. We were waiting for this move. We were waiting for this patiently. And now we have exactly what we were waiting for. So let me make this screen a little bit bigger here. All right. What I'm going to talk about with this especially is, again, everything's going to be tied together. So everything we talk about today will be tied together to something else. So follow the breadcrumbs, follow the trail. So Cuomo signs legislation into legalizing adult use cannabis. The development of adult use cannabis industry in New York State under this legalization has the potential to create a significant economic opportunity for New Yorkers and the state. Tax collections from the adult use cannabis program are projected to reach $350 million annually. So this isn't about, you know, us being able to have health benefits of cannabis. This isn't about us being able to have access to something that was mass incarcerating Black and brown folks over the last 20 years. Not about that for New York State. This is specifically about $350 million annually in tax revenue. That is the first thing that we need to discuss. So this is going to change the game for a lot of things. And as we read down further on this, so because this bill is now going into effect, right now it's been signed into law, all of the cannabis possession drugs and felonies for that, folks who are incarcerated for possession, will be released, period. Those are no longer going to be held on the books, which means that we're going to have an influx of potential entrepreneurs, potential folks who are affiliated with cannabis, potential business owners who could come out and actually utilize what they were incarcerated for to make a living and actually be successful. Like, there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of social economic parts to this that really do count. And this all ties together because later on in this conversation, we're going to talk about the fact that there's money, literally billions of dollars available for entrepreneurs who are women and Black specifically to take advantage of a program, such as coming into the cannabis space and maybe getting certified to be a distributor or a producer. So all of these things are tied to this conversation. This conversation is not just about what's going to make money today. It's about what's the opportunity. You know, this is a pandemic. There's not a lot of things that are good that happen in a pandemic. Usually it's all bad things, but this is a huge win for not only New York State, but for all the stocks that we were investing in over the last 3 months. Now, if you're on our YouTube channel, which is just click the link in my bio, you'll see our YouTube channel. I have up the actual bill. Now, what this bill is going to do is establish an Office of Cannabis Management, which is going to manage these tax revenues. But I want to talk to you specifically about what they want to do with this. So the adult use cannabis tax revenue is literally going to be split into 3 things. The first thing is upper 40% of it's going towards education of what cannabis is, how to use it, how to grow it, like basically giving us the Coles Notes of the entire industry, which 40% of tax revenue going to that is a pretty big deal. But here's the bigger one. Another 40% of the tax revenue taken from this revenue area of cannabis is going towards Community Grants Reinvestments Fund, right? That's a fund to reinvest into either entrepreneurs trying to grow, folks trying to get involved into the industrial space of this, clearing spaces in parks, doing different things for the community, and grants towards some sort of positive impact. So I've never seen any other drug, I've never seen alcohol do this, I've never seen cigarettes do this, set aside 40% of their budget towards Community Grants Reinvestments Fund. Like, that to me is one of the benefits of this program, right? The last part is 20% is going to Drug Treatment and Public Education Fund. So essentially, for folks who are addicted to drugs, they are going to be setting aside some money towards helping them with that. So this entire thing is setting up to be a very big windfall, especially even in the nonprofit space. I can see entrepreneurs who are entrepreneur minded looking at 40% community grants reinvestment as an opportunity to open up a nonprofit that could then help the community to either reinvest some of those funds from the state or utilize that money towards improving their communities at a local level. Like, this is going to be a windfall of money that can come into any community. And this is New York State. So if you're in New York, this is a good thing. But if you're not in New York, understand that these methods that they're using in New York are going to be mirrored by other states and other countries. That's how New York works. New York starts something and then everyone follows suit. That's just what happens here. So take close notice to what this is, right? Now, one thing that concerns me with this bill is traffic safety. So one of the things it says here is the criminal justice record part. Let me make sure I can get to it. Where is it? Basically, if you are smoking in a vehicle, it's going to hold the same level of penalty as it did prior to this bill coming out. That to me is kind of an interesting thing. So it says the use of cannabis, if you look right here, the use of cannabis by drivers will remain prohibited and will carry the same penalties as it does currently. So you're reforming an entire act for the war on drugs, but you're leaving something in here to still try to kind of mess with us a little bit, right? So you're saying that this is a legal thing. And then you're putting in that if you're driving and you have possession or whatever have you, it's going to carry the same penalties as it currently had before this bill came out. So I think that that's part of the bill that kind of confused me and concerned me, because if I'm driving and I have, cannabis from my house that I'm literally transporting from one place to another and I get pulled over, if the same laws apply, then they could essentially put me in jail for owning my own stuff, even though it's legal now. So there's going to be some work around this, but this is a first great step. So this is a really good thing. And for folks who don't know what this is, again, this is on Governor Cuomo's legislation of legalizing cannabis. And this is what we were waiting for the investment piece. Because with New York State now open as a cannabis state that allows for cannabis to be legalized, you are going to see 15 million people have access to cannabis legally. That is very different, especially from a revenue standpoint for a stock in any company that's going to be distributing in New York. Like this is now a huge market that's now opened up. New Jersey was before, and now it's New York. So this is a big deal. Now let's go into part two. So I spent 10 minutes on this? Okay, part two. 1 million Black women. So anyone that's any women on this call right now, I definitely want you to kind of stay tuned to this right here. So if you're not on our YouTube screen, I'm sorry for you. Click on the link in my bio. But Goldman Sachs, okay? Goldman Sachs has began an investment into the community, specifically into Black women. And I was recently on a Clubhouse room with Black Women on Code. God bless y'all. Black Women on Code, that were talking about this. And they're actually the ones that introduced this to me. I didn't even know this was a thing. So for the skinny, basically 1 million Black women is essentially a $10 billion direct investment capital program from Goldman Sachs into the Black community, specifically Black women. Now, in partnership with Black women-led organizations and other partners, our new investment initiative, 1 million Black women, will commit $10 billion in direct investment capital and $100 million in philanthropic support to address the dual disproportionate gender and racial biases that Black women have faced for generations, which have been exacerbated by the pandemic. Now, I'm going to pull up a couple of things here because I actually had some stats pulled up. So this is where we are right now. Let's go down to this. Boom. Okay. So we got some stuff for you here. So this is basically the initiative, right? Now, here's my problem with this. And this is, first of all, it's not really a problem. It's just kind of an opinion. I understand what Goldman is trying to accomplish with this. You know, if you look at Black women and their role in Black history, their role in our history, their role in this country, and this is America I'm talking about, their role in the world, you know, that's Mother Earth. That is the mother of all of us. That is the ground that everything is supported by, right? So by focusing their efforts on that disenfranchised group specifically, because again, we live in a male-dominated society where men do things that they're not supposed to do. Men commit most of the violent crimes, and they do a lot of egregious things, period. Whereas women are treated less than, they're paid less than, even though we're looking for equality for women, they still haven't gotten that. They weren't able to vote up until maybe 35 years ago, 40 years ago. Like they have been going through it, right? Especially Black women. And here's a stat for you, in case y'all don't know about how Black women have got it rough. It's not even about how rough they've had it just in, society, but just literally in, let me show you a different picture here. How do I change my photos, bud? Okay, do I want to do that? Nope. I forgot how to change my pictures, folks. You guys got to help me out here. Oh, man. I click on that. Stop sharing. Okay, cool. So they literally made me jump out of the whole thing. Look at this stat right here. I'm going to give you this one. Nope, I don't want to give you that one. Let me give you another one. Stop sharing. This stat here. There's a few stats that I have, so please bear with me. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that? So this looks at the median net wealth of individuals. And it goes by Black women on the left down there, if you can see all the way to the left, followed by Black men, followed by white women, followed by white men, followed by Black couples, and then white couples, right? So if you look at the group that accounts for Black women, net wealth, right? For Black women, it is 7. And this is in thousands, right? Net wealth. For Black men, I think it's 14. So it's double for Black men. And then you go over to white women, it's 85,000. White men, 92,000 net worth. Then the Black family, which has a better shot than Black singles, it's 66,000. And then for white families, and this is a very black and white study here, but this is again in the report that Goldman Sachs did. That number is 260,000. So you can see a disproportionate part of this whole argument here, right? You can see that, in our community, we don't have wealth in our community. So this initiative of doing this $10 billion direct capital investment is literally to raise the floor from the most, hurt population in our country, which is our women. All right, so let me close this out. Okay, so here is where I think that we have to be very strategic about this, because again, we're talking about cannabis being legalized, right? And then we're talking about Goldman Sachs donating basically $10 billion into any sort of entrepreneurial aspect for a Black-owned business. You see how these things can come together? So let's say that you are a woman and you happen to have a friend who is in the cannabis space, who likes to smoke cannabis or use cannabis or understands the medicinal parts of cannabis, and you decide to go into partnership and start a business. You could potentially be one of the individuals who can get part of this $10 billion that's now set aside for this type of entrepreneurial investment. Now, it goes into talking about exactly who they want to see this money is used, how this money is going to be used. So here's how this money is going to be used. If you're not on our YouTube, you can't see this, so I'll just share what I'm sharing on YouTube on here. Here's how the money is divvied up. All right. So they're going to be utilizing this money to help Black women with healthcare, job creation and workforce advancement, education, housing, digital connectivity, financial health, and access to capital. All right. So these are the areas that they're going to try and help Black women in. Now, here's the thing. And unfortunately, Goldman, even though you're a multi-billion-dollar organization in multi-countries, you can't change healthcare. There are things that this initiative, and this is why, and I couldn't say this in the Black Women on Code Clubhouse room, but I can say it here. This is why we have to be, again, intelligent in how we strategically look at these opportunities, but understand that they're not going to be the silver pill. They're not going to be the silver bullet that solves all these problems. Like, you want to help Black women in healthcare, even though Black women are the most how Black women are, they're disenfranchised, right? Especially in the healthcare system. Like, you look at, pregnancy and getting through labor alive, right? Black women are like double or triple more likely to die giving birth to a child than a white woman, right? And not to say, white or Black, whatever. I'm just letting you know these are stats. These are official. And this is not even in the United States. This is in the UK. This is in Canada. This is everywhere. Where Black women exist, their health care is always at risk because the folks who administer that care do not look like them. So Goldman, even though you want to give us money for healthcare to give us access to better healthcare, guess what? You still can't change that stat by throwing money at it. That's not something you can change. But in the study, it makes it seem as if that's something that you're going to, it's going to make your life better because you can have access to doctors who still don't care about you. Like, no, that's not what you have the power to do. Job creation and workforce advancement. They talk about financing workforce development and companies that provide upskilling, which enables career advancement and higher wages. First of all, you're giving money to Black women who are going to become entrepreneurs, literally utilize that money to start a business. Job creation. What exactly does that entail? Because again, if I look at Goldman Sachs and who they hire, they don't even hire Black people like that. If you look at the board of individuals that are actually doing this, and let me show you something that's actually very funny to me. Like, you look at the board of the folks that are doing this. All right. Here's a few of the names, and I'm going to pull this up on YouTube because I'm trying to get everybody in the same spot, everyone. So I'm trying to make sure that the YouTube and the folks on Instagram all get my stuff. So on the board of folks who are doing this, right? How many Goldman Sachs reps do you see on here? Okay. I got Lisa Jackson, Vice President of Environmental and Policy and Social Initiatives for Apple. I got Valerie Jarrett, who's in the Chicago Law School University. I got Lisa Mensa, President-Chief of the Opportunity Finance Network. That's not Goldman Sachs. We've got Mark Morial, President and CEO of the National Urban League. I know that gentleman. We've got Dr. Dambisi Moyo, again, global economist and author, not part of So Goldman, this is why I say we have to be strategic, because again, the individuals that are creating this fund and helping to manage how this runs, none of them are Goldman employees. Not a one. And that's not because Goldman doesn't have minority employees who can work in their environment. It's because they don't have enough of them. They don't have enough of them. And I worked in finance for 5 years? In my office up in upstate New York, I was one of 60 Black men. Actually, it was two of us, Tony and myself, 2 Black men in an office of 64 advisors, right? And that ranged from 64 to 68. It went up and down. That's just what that industry looks like. So you're trying to invest into our community, whether it's Black women, Black men, but yet your hiring practices don't show that. So let's go into what your hiring practices show. Since you guys want to act like you're doing big things for our community, okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. I'm gonna stop sharing that. If you're on YouTube, go over to YouTube. I'm gonna show you what else. We're gonna go in here, folks. So I'm sorry, but we gotta talk to these folks about real life. You can't come in here, throw money at our community, throw money at our women, and then make it seem as if we're not going to look closer at you. We're going to look at you, right? Because we've got to protect ours. So let's see here. I want to show this. So on our YouTube channel, I'm pulling up, copy link. I'm pulling up another window here. Control V. And this is an article that was updated in August of 2020. All right. And this is a Goldman Sachs article updated on inclusion and diversity at Goldman Sachs, including new aspirational goals. I'm going to give you guys a skinny on Instagram, and I'm going to just show the folks on YouTube what's going on. So again, if you're not on our YouTube, click on the link in my bio. You can follow us there. You'll see everything except the comments and on Instagram, which are pretty fun. So you're going to have to pick and choose what you want. But I want to just scroll down to their goals. Okay. Goldman Sachs, from your own mouth, your media relations overview. We are aiming to achieve by 2025 representation in our vice president population of 40% women globally, 7% Black professionals in the Americas and the UK, and 9% Hispanic Latinx professionals in the Americas by 2025. By 2025, they want to get 7% Black professionals in the United States. 7. We make up 17% of the population, yet we are only represented at 7%. No, hold on. You're not even at 7% right now. You're aiming to get to 7% in the next 5 years. What percent are you at right now? What percentage of your employment looks like me, or looks like my sister, or looks like my auntie? But you want to give us money though. So I am just letting y'all know. Yes, honey, I will pin that. My baby is telling me to pin this thing for Wealth Wednesday. I will pin it. I am sorry, my love. Pin comment. There you go. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, this is strategic. This is very strategic. I don't give a damn what anyone says. This is strategic. They're looking at throwing $10 billion at our women, right? To start their own businesses, to have opportunities that they haven't been given access to in the past, which is great. But yet you don't even employ our women. You don't even hire us. And as a matter of fact, it's going to take you 5 years to get to 7% within your entire workforce. And you're an international company. You're in the UK, you're in the United States, you're in Canada, you're in South America. And here's the funniest part. In South America, they're saying that they want to have 9% Hispanic. If you're already in South America, the population is probably 90% Hispanic, and you want to just get to 9? So who the hell are you hiring? Who else are you hiring over there is what I want to know. If you're only getting 9% Hispanics in a country mainly full of Hispanic people. Like, so your company as a whole, and this is not to throw shade at Goldman Sachs, but y'all are a little fake. You're going to throw money at our women, which is fine. Because again, I'm taking everything. Whatever you're going to give us, I'm not going to thank you for it though. I'm going to utilize it because again, you're trying to correct something that you know was a social wrong that you've had and committed in your multi-billion-dollar organization for quite some time, which is fine. We'll take that money. But just understand, we're not going to give you kudos for starting to do something you should have done a long time ago. What about our Black sisters who work in your company who can't see other Black sisters working next to them? What about them? What about the micro racism that they're experiencing in the finance industry because the entire industry looks like white men? What about that? Like, I want you as Goldman Sachs to show me that you're not just throwing money at Black women to make a headline, but you're throwing money at Black women because you know that you should do it, number one. But number two, the bigger deal is that you're going to change how you run your organization. And I don't want to be the guy that's calling out Goldman Sachs. I mean, you know, who knows? At some point in time, we may do business together. I'm a savvy entrepreneur. I might ask get a loan. I don't know. But I'm just letting y'all know, you're not going to trick us right now. Okay? Cough up the money. That's cool. But don't make it seem as if you're doing something great for us, because you're not. You're just doing the bare minimum. And every corporation should be doing the bare minimum to create equality for all of us. That's what you should be doing. Every single corporation that does not have representation should show representation. So how do we tie all this together? Before I tie it together, I want to show you a couple more stats though, because we're not done yet. Let me go into this chat and see what I'm missing in here, because I feel like I'm going in and I'm not paying attention to the chat. So let me go in the chat real quick. Hold on one second. Luke, what's going on, brother? Amalia, how you doing? Miss Lee, Tice, T, what's going on? Let's see who else is out here. Trisha, Mine Investor. St. Lou Kid, what's up? Simply Charles, what's going on? Vulgarity, what's going on, brother? I'm Bev, make it plain, damn right. Mr. Ward, what's going on, sir? All right. So anyway, so to what I'm saying is this: Goldman, we appreciate you. We appreciate your money. We're going to utilize it, trust and believe. So, folks, if you're going to go into this idea of trying to get this $10 billion from Goldman Sachs, right? Cool. You got to start with a business plan. You got to get your team together, get your network together, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and don't be irresponsible with the opportunity, because money doesn't make a business successful. You do. Your practices do. Your ethics do. Your grit does. You committing to that goal makes you successful. So even if Goldman threw $1 million at you, but you're not willing to actually be a custodian of that money and do right by it, what good is that? You're wasting your time. You're wasting Goldman's time. You're wasting everyone's time, right? So if this is an opportunity, and I'm talking to Black women specifically, and Black men, you're not involved in this conversation right now. Y'all are on the sidelines. Black women, I'm talking to y'all. If you have a business right now or a business idea right now, I want you to farm that idea out thoroughly. I want you to go in, find someone who can read your business plan and literally go in, because again, there's money. There is money available to start your business and get it to flourish. And again, you can start a business without having capital. Of course you can. But if you start a business with someone else's capital, especially if it's free, why not? We're not talking about having to pay back this money. This isn't a loan that they're trying to give you. They're giving you a grant. They're saying, hey, here's the money. Take it and make your business work. It's not, here's $100,000, you owe us $100,000. That's not the deal. This is free money for you, right? So my thing is, be custodians of it, understand what to do with it. If you get called and your name is pulled and your company is now up, make sure that it's a successful one. Create your network. If you're a couple, definitely talk to your partner, because again, a black women-run business doesn't have to be managed completely by a Black woman, right? You can have a partner that's a man, but as long as you're the main name on there, you're the minority Black woman business owner. And again, you can run the same business. So again, this is going to give a lot of our women an opportunity to actually do things that they've always dreamed about doing. And for women who are already entrepreneurs right now, this is an opportunity for you to actually jump on, right? So I want to tell you that right now. So let's tie this all back now. So what is it? 31. So we're at the halfway mark. Okay. So we started this conversation with, the importance of pandemic investing, just kind of making sure that you have stocks that are going to survive a pandemic. We're talking about New York State legalizing cannabis. Then we talked about, Goldman Sachs committing $10 billion to Black women specifically in order to create, more revenue, to create more business, owners and entrepreneurs in this country, to a population that is underserved, right, as Black women. And now we're going to talk about how all of this ties back in to how we can actually move forward. Okay. So the opportunity that we have in front of us right now is to move into a direction where we can take what Governor Cuomo has done and we can strategically try to put a plan together to make this work, right? If you have an idea of how to, help reintroduce individuals into, the workforce, because again, you're going to have a whole bunch of ex-cons, right, coming out of prison. Hopefully their sentences are exonerated, because again, cannabis is now legal. So if they went to jail for cannabis possession, they're not even ex-cons anymore. They're just folks who were previously incarcerated and have no record, right? If you have a nonprofit idea, such as to rehabilitate someone who's been incarcerated for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years or whatever have you, into society by giving them skills that they can utilize, whether it be working in the trades, whether that be teaching them how to create an entrepreneurial life for themselves. I can see Black women literally taking on this task, because you guys are the backbone of our society. So if you say sneeze, the world trembles. Like, that's Black women. You have the ability to literally support any event and make it amazing, right? So imagine if, as a Black woman, you said, hey, I'm going to start a nonprofit to help reintroduce folks who were previously incarcerated into society, whether by giving them skills, giving them job training skills, help them with the resume, whatever have you. And you decided to apply for a grant with Goldman Sachs. You could literally change their lives. And there's my baby girl. She's awake. You can literally change your lives. And again, have funding to do that. That is the beauty of this opportunity. Again, this is a pandemic. We don't really have a lot of opportunities in a pandemic. It's not really the time for a bunch of opportunities. But again, one huge one has just opened. Between Goldman, between New York State, there's opportunities for us to actually help people, to help ourselves, to help each other, to improve one of the most beaten down groups in our society when it comes to Black women and their opportunities. Again, and a lot of Black women that I know are professional. A lot of Black women I know are very intelligent. They're very able to do almost anything if they put their minds to it. And if they don't, they can still do it better than most of us. That's the opportunity. It's really to put you in a position to create the future that you want for yourself and your children. And I'm going to give you a stat. Again, I'm a man of stats. And again, they did all the work for me. I didn't have to do anything myself, which is great. But here's the stat I'm going to give you. Look at it right here. Nope, not that one. This one. Inherited wealth. Okay. Look on this list, and you guys can't see it on here. I'm sorry. Y'all can't see it. I gotta go to I gotta go to my notepad to show you that on YouTube. But on YouTube, basically what I'm sharing with them is the inherited, the Black women are the least likely to have inherited wealth. And this chart just shows who actually does get inherited wealth. So it shows Black women have 11% of Black women inherit wealth. And Black men have 24%. Not much, but still better than Black women. White women have 36%. White men have 41%. Black families, Black couples, have an inheritance of roughly 17%. And then white couples, I know you can't see the chart, but it's through the roof. It's pretty high. This is all a part of Goldman's study. So they really went in to try and figure out all of the ways to show, well, I want to cancel that. All the ways to show that, you know, Black women have been literally the least cared about group in America. That's just what it's been, and it shouldn't be that way. And you know who's going to help change that? All of us. By encouraging our sister, our cousins, our aunties, our moms to put their ideas out there, to support and encourage them, to be a listening ear and not one that needs to tell them what to do, but more so encourage whatever they tell you they want to do. You know, I feel like the conversation that Black men have to have with ourselves first is just because a woman makes more money than you doesn't mean that you're still not a man. Just because a woman is in a more successful position than you doesn't mean that you're less of a man or that you're not going to be as respected. Just because a woman may have more education than you doesn't mean that she doesn't need you. Like, there is a narrative that we have in our community where some of us are afraid of strong, and I don't even say strong, because that's, again, I don't want to use that word because all Black women are strong. There is a narrative in our community that Black women are difficult because they're smart. They make good money. They don't stand for crap. They don't allow you to treat them any old way. Like, you call that difficult, right? Why, Black men, are you calling that difficult? That doesn't make sense to me, right? That's the kind of woman that you want. That's the kind of queen you want. And I'm speaking from a heterosexual standpoint because that's what I am. I'm married to a beautiful queen. I wanted that. I went after what I wanted, right? So to me, as Black men, do not be offended when your woman is actually a strong, talented, beautiful person that is looking to go up and up and up and wants you to come with her. Like, don't be mad at that. Ride with it. I'm gonna tell you right now, if my wife made $1 million and I didn't have a job, listen, I'm gonna say, baby, what do you need from me? Can I work at your company? Do you want me to shine your shoes real quick? Like, what do you need me to do to make your life better? Because I'm just here to make sure that you keep making that money so that we're all good. Like, I'm gonna encourage and support the hell out of you. Granted, I got my own things I want to do myself. So I'm like, hey, baby, can you send a brother 50,000 so I can maybe start this little, car cleaning business on the side or something? Like, we're gonna work together, right? But it's not gonna be because she's good at something or that she has this drive or motivation to do something amazing that's going to intimidate me. Men, we got to cut that crap out. Like, cut that out, right? This is an opportunity for our women to get access to funding that we can't get. So the best thing you can do is to give them that battery in their back and say, listen, wife, girlfriend, sister, cousin, auntie, whoever you are to me, here's the battery you need in your back. Go do that. And how do you need me to help you? Because I could be on your payroll. You can pay me, what, $200 a week? I can do your books for you, whatever you need me to do. That's how our community is built. And Black women are going to help recreate and build it if this thing goes through and they actually have the support. So this is a two-pronged approach as a community that we're looking at right now. Black women have access to this. Let's make sure that we encourage the hell out of them and jump onto the bandwagon, right? I'm not going to let Goldman get the credit for that. No. Goldman's not going to get credit for that. We had that community before Goldman came through. I ain't worried about them. All right. So let me wrap this up with some stocks. So folks, if you don't know who we are, what we do, we're the way, we're a nonprofit in New York. And guess what? You best damn believe and understand that I'm going to be writing some proposals about this population that's getting released from prison. Damn understand that I'm going to do that. I'm going to find a way, and I'm going to encourage my wife to say, hey, listen, I want you to apply for some of this money now so we can actually improve how, the lives of these individuals coming out of prison. that were incarcerated for foolishness, right? So I'm already, my gears are already turning. So I just want all of us to be on the same page where our gears have to turn. We have to start thinking as a community and not let our dollars move from our community, right? They're literally giving us a layup. This is like an alley-oop in football, where not football, in basketball, where you just lob it up and someone just comes and boom, slams it down. That's all this is right now. So we can thank Goldman Sachs for throwing the ball up, but we were going to score anyway. We're just going to we're going to utilize their layup to make it easy. So we are going to utilize that. So now, the last part of our puzzle, put this all together, is stocks, right? So we're going to go to our Yahoo Finance. One of my buddies in the post put up a stock. I want to say it was Curl F, I do believe. His name is Amar. Appreciate you, Amar. You're the man. So if you're on our YouTube channel, you'll see what I'm doing over there. Let me just make that a little bigger. All right, so this is Curl F. Curl Leaf Holdings, ticker symbol CURLF. They are on the OTC, over the counter. If you don't know what that is, then you haven't been watching our channel for long enough, so I'm gonna leave you alone with that. But what I want to show you is just this. I'm gonna go back 6 months. So on their 6-month chart, if you're not on our YouTube, just click the link in my bio. You'll see what I'm looking at here. On their 6-month chart, they were trading at $7 in October of last year, right? October 6th of 2020, Curl F was trading at $7.06. Okay. Today, they're trading at $15.16. So they've doubled, more than doubled, right? I am letting you know right now, and I've been saying this since November, been saying this December, been saying this in January. If you are not in the cannabis space yet, get on it, period. Because with New York now coming online, you are now going to see a gold rush towards folks growing, distributing, getting access to dispensaries, and it's not going to look like black people. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're not going to be the person that it looks like. You're going to see a dispensary open up in Bushwick or in Bed-Stuy or in Crown Heights. It ain't going to look like you. It's going to look like another ethnicity, right? That's fine. You can buy the stocks. You can invest in the stocks and still get the ride. Because again, this industry is going to blow. The government is backing this because they want to get the tax revenue. Like we said in Governor Cuomo's statement, he's looking for $135 million. Is it 135? Make sure I have the right number. Tax revenue. Hold on, let me get it because I don't want to. So $350 million annually in tax collection projected in New York State, right? 30,000 jobs to 60,000 jobs will be created in the next 12 months, right? Do you not see the play? Do you not see the play? I am not trying to get y'all to invest in cannabis stocks because I like to smoke weed. I don't smoke. But this is an opportunity that we have available to us that we have to take advantage of. And my thing is, if you don't have the money to open up your own dispensary, if you don't have the ability to write Goldman Sachs to get a grant to see if you can set up your own home grow or to invest in some sort of part of the cannabis space, fine. If you don't have the money to do that, just buy the stocks. Just buy the stocks, folks. Don't go out of your way. Buy the stocks. Curl F is an example, but I can show you many others. Let's look at Tilray. Look at the stocks that we have in our list. Tilray is one of the stocks that I invest in. And again, if I go back 6 months, there was a spike in Tilray because of the Reddit folks came at it. But 6 months ago, Tilray was trading at $6. And regardless of the blips in the market, it's trading at 6. Now it's trading at 22. All right, it's almost 4 times its investment from 6 months ago. I need you to understand that I don't look at my stocks every day because I don't care to. My plan is not about being stressed about the market up and down. I look at it when I'm going in. But once I'm in, I just continue adding to my position. I do not care what the price is because I know that it's going to go up. The question is, how many of those shares do I have? So for Tilray, if you were buying those stocks for $6.73 each, now they're worth $22. Guess what? That's going to double again. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And more states are going to come online legalizing cannabis. So you need to be ahead of that. As our community, we don't talk about investments enough. I get it. We're in a pandemic. Some of us are dealing with health concerns. Some of us are losing loved ones. And, just my prayers go out to Aunt Bev and Rob, Grandma, love her. And my prayers are with you guys. My vibrations are always in your way. She's an ancestor now, and we honor her. And we'll honor her by making sure that we continue to push the fight forward. You know, because in her time, she dealt with actual racism. She dealt with lynching. She dealt with all of the things that we saw in the 60s and we saw in the 50s. That was her time frame, right? So, you know, our ancestors are here with us and they're going to guide us through this, and we have to make sure that we do right by them. All right. So I'm Bev, Rob, I got you, and I'm praying for y'all and your families. Okay. So my thing is, we have to be aware that this struggle is real. This struggle is real, and we can be ahead of it if we're just strategic. It's all it takes. Like, I'm sick and tired of us having excuses as to why we can't make it. Like, why can't we make it? I don't understand why you can't pick up a book and learn about stocks. Why you can't open up a brokerage account and just start putting money in it instead of going to McDonald's. That same $14, just spend it on a share of Tilray. It's not going to kill you. All it can do is make you wealthy. And we already talked about the fact that wealth does not transfer in our community because we don't have it. What are you transferring if you don't have wealth? Black women have the least amount of wealth coming to them because, again, they're so busy trying to survive for their families. Usually they're single mothers. They don't have the time to invest money because they're feeding their kids. So black men, I'll ask you, if they're feeding the kids and they're mostly single, what the hell are you doing? Right? That's why you have more inheritance, because you aren't doing what they're doing. Okay, cool. So why not make sure that as a society, we're all winning? Increase our net worth, increase our wealth. And guess what? Black man, if you're not married, if you're, a single father and you're not taking care of your kid, at least stack aside some money so that when you die, your kid has something that you didn't have. Like, it shouldn't even be about your wife. Like, if you don't like her, that's fine. Personal, I'm not going to get in anyone's business. I'm not here to, to talk about your home. I'm just here to talk about your lineage and your legacy, right? If you're a black man and you have a daughter, you have a son, and they came from your body, they should be able to be better off because they didn't ask to come here. You brought them here. So do something about that. Leave them something, even if they're not. And even if it means getting life insurance, I don't give a damn what you do. Everyone needs to start doing stuff. Everyone, including us. So black men, go get some damn life insurance. If you want to pay them money, let the insurance pay them out. It's a better and cleaner transaction anyway, right? And for black women, I'm going to tell you all this right now. Black women, I want you to buy life insurance. And this is not a life insurance plug for life insurance sake. This is about wealth generation and wealth creation in our community. If Goldman Sachs is going to invest as much money into you, it's your now responsibility to make sure that investment doesn't go to waste, right? If you die halfway through your entrepreneurial journey and you can no longer, help your family anymore because you're a single black woman and now you're dead, guess what? At least if you had insurance, your kids are going to be okay, right? So if you're going to get this money and if you're going to do all these things that, again, we know you can do, I understand that you can do it. Make sure that you do all of that. Now, let me ask you a question, and this is personal. Everyone on the chat that's seeing me right now, I want you to put in a peace sign if you have life insurance on yourself right now. In Instagram, anyone that's there, put a peace sign if you have life insurance on yourself. Period. YouTube, you can just play along with this because you're not here. Peace sign. All right. I want to know if you have life insurance because, again, I need you, if you don't own it yet, to go get it. There's a pandemic happening right now. People are dying left and right. Why the hell don't you have life insurance? It's very crazy to me. I'll put my peace sign up like this because I'm on the live, so y'all know I got multiple policies, and I'll put the peace sign up for my wife because she's got them too. Like, but this is the point, y'all. Like, this has to be talked about in our community. It cannot be the first time you're hearing that as a black person. If you have kids, if you have an investment, if you have a business, if you have anybody that's on you need to have insurance. It's not a game. Go get it. And don't get term insurance talking about, I'm going to buy term and invest the difference. I don't want to hear that crap because you're going to die after that term runs out and your family gets nothing. Get a permanent contract, period. Make sure that someone is going to pay your family if you die. I need you to have that in your possession right now because, again, there are other communities that have done this as a standard. As a standard. They're not waiting to be told by someone on a Wealth Wednesday, hey, you should invest in life insurance. No, their grandparents buy them policies. And their job is to buy policies for their grandkids and they keep it going. And there's not small policies either. They're buying $100,000 to $500,000 policies plus for these kids. And the rates are like $10, maybe $40 for $1 million on a kid, permanent policy. That's what they're buying. So from me to you, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Stock markets may not always work. You may lose money. You may lose your entire bank account. You may lose your business. But guess what? All of us are gonna die. Every last one of us will die. Except those who are going to make it when, when people come and, end the times is here and, we're getting raptured up and all that stuff. Well, not the first rapture, maybe the second one. But that's an inside joke for those who know about Black roots. But anyway, so, when that time comes, if you live through all this, that's great. But if you don't, and you die, I need your family to be okay. I want our community to be okay. And we need to do what every reasonable and responsible community does, which is look out for the next generation, right? So it starts with making savvy business choices. It starts with making sure that your kids understand stocks and wealth and the wealth transfer and why that's important for them to invest in, getting a home, getting property in your name, diversifying your assets so that you're not just 100% in the stock market. You have real estate, you have other investments, maybe land in other places. You've got to teach them this. They don't know this out the rip because no one taught you that out the rip. Your parents didn't teach you how to invest in stocks. I guarantee you that out of all the people on this call right now, maybe 5% of you had your parents sit you down and tell you what a stock was. All the others learned it by default, maybe in school, maybe by talking to somebody who was a stockbroker who was like, hey, did you hear about this startup? Da, 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 da. You ran into it. You didn't even go looking for it. You ran into it literally, right? So we've got to make sure that we give our kids a leg up. And Black women, again, with this Goldman Sachs money, I want y'all to know, even if you don't get the money, I don't care. As long as you understand that we are looking at you, not only for leadership and guidance, but to support and encourage you in whatever you're looking to do. That's all I want you to understand. Like, there are Black men out here and Black women out here who are about this community growth thing. Like, we're about it. And I think as we get more awake and more community minded, we're going to now start seeing this as standard. It's not going to be something that's now, oh, well, why? No, we're all going to be this way. All right. So with that being said, let's wrap this whole thing up. So, one, in a pandemic, your investments matter. What you decide to put your money in matters. Looking at everything that you're doing from a standpoint of, I need to be consistent, dollar cost average. If my portfolio goes down, I do not care. Continue to invest in companies that are going to make it through this pandemic. That's it. Stay consistent. Do not be afraid that your values have gone down. I'm going to have a conversation with my buddies even. Like, we look at our account values. Like, you have to be confident knowing that this system has been in place for hundreds of years. It's going to keep going. But even if it fails, you're not going to be worse off by doing what the system required. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be optimistic when it comes to the market. You really need to. Because again, if you're pessimistic, you're never going to invest your money. You'll never be the person that has a stock that grows from $1 to $500. You won't be that person because you were pessimistic the whole time. Be optimistic, but be wise. Invest with people who know what the hell they're doing. Invest in companies that are in industries that are going to win. Look at what the states around you are doing and invest in that. Invest in that. New York State is literally looking to make $350 million a year in an industry that is now beginning. And all of you that have opportunity to hear my voice, if you don't invest in cannabis stocks right now, if you don't get into that market right now, I'm going to be looking at you a year from now and I'm going to laugh at you because you know the recipe, but you don't want to make the cake. Like, make the cake. Know the recipe, trust it. It's going to work. All right. First thing. Second thing, Goldman Sachs is giving Black women specifically $10 billion over a long period of time to contribute to entrepreneurial journeys, helping them with healthcare, with childcare, with, job improvement, many different areas, right? Goldman, hire some Black people, and then maybe I'll care. But, I'll care about that. I'll care about you a little bit more. Right now, you're just the tree that I'm going to pluck the money off of. I don't even care about if this tree, I don't care about the tree. I care about the fruit that I'm going to pluck off. Because again, show me you care by hiring us. Show me you care by investing in us. Show me you care by dealing with any sort of microaggressive, racial practices by your advisors who don't look like me or my sister, right? Deal with that. Because I'm telling you right now, in your industry, you already know what that industry is like. Alpha men in finance. If you've never been in a financial advisor's office, we used to call ours the bullpen. It was literally like a frat house. That's what it was. And that's what they always are like. So hopefully that has changed, but I doubt it. But let's just work on those things, Goldman, while we take this money and improve our community, because we're going to do right by it, right? Black women, get your business plans together, get your network together, understand that no one starts a business by themselves. They started with a core group of customers, a core group of supporters, folks who are going to encourage and support your movement. Find them, get that going, because again, if you get access to this money, money's not going to make you rich. Money's not going to make your business work. Your business model will make your business work. Your integrity will make your business work. Your decision-making will make your business work. The money is just getting a ticket to the dance, but that doesn't mean you're going to have fun. You know what I mean? You're going to get in the door, but that doesn't mean you're going to be having a good time, right? So Focus on what you can control, get those things together. And if you're in the States, again, this is free money. Do something about it. All right. And we're going to support and encourage our Black women, Black men. Chill out, get life insurance, support your families, do what you do. But just remember that Black women right now, this is their time, and it's our time to support that. And again, you can still get your own, but make sure that you're not tearing on a Black woman while you're getting your own, right? Make sure that you're encouraging our queens. Make sure that you're making sure that they're doing, right by, each other as well as themselves. And Black women, Black women to Black women, right? Y'all have a lot of things going on in our community. Like, I already know, and I'm not going to speak on it because I'm not a Black woman, right? But I just want everyone to have grace right now. Just have some grace, because again, we are one. No matter if we make an argument, we have a tough, crucial conversation. We say things that we don't really mean. We get under each other's skin. Black men or Black women, I don't care. Get over yourself, get over your ego, and understand that this is bigger than you. This is bigger than that argument that you had. I mean, I argue with my wife. We're a married couple. We argue pretty often. But you know what we don't do? We don't stay on that ego. We get off that. And I tell her, like, if I'm mad, you can't be mad. If you're mad, I can't be mad. Like, only one of us can while out at a time. Because if we're both wild out, we're not being, our integrity is not there as a married couple. Like, we're not thinking about the other person. So if it's something that she's got to get out of her system, boom, I'm going to take the punches. I got it. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, babe, you said that? Really? Wow, like, dang. And then I'm like, okay, you good now? I love you. And then when it's my turn, I don't even say much. I just be like, I give that Nigerian stare. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get mad with it. my anger is very low, like smoky anger. You know what I mean? So she's just like, yes, dear, cool, whatever. But that's what it takes sometimes, folks. Men and women understand that we can't be mad at the same time, especially if we're trying to move in the same direction, right? And we've got to work together. So, ego is the one thing that can destroy any marriage, any relationship, any communication. Like, ego, if you are so big on who you are and how you disrespected me and da-da-da-da-da, but yet you can't see how you disrespected that person, your ego is blinding you. And guess who doesn't win? Our community doesn't win. Our relatives don't win. Our kids don't win. Our next generation doesn't win. Everyone loses because your ego is so big that you can't see past it. You can't see past it. All right. So for Black people, period, we are on this together. Black women, you're not in isolation. Black men, you're not in isolation. I need my Black women. My Black women need me. So because we both need each other, let's acknowledge that and speak in that truth and be there. I don't care what anyone said to you. This is 2021. People are dying for nothing. Don't let an argument or your ego be the reason why you say something you don't mean and you don't realize to take that back, right? We've got to be bigger than this. We've got to be better than this. I don't care what it was. I don't care what it was. Everyone's been hurt. Everyone's been disrespected. Everyone's gone through that, right? But we have to look into our trauma and understand that the trauma doesn't own us. It makes it difficult to get past. Don't get me wrong. People have lost family members. People have lost parents. They've lost siblings. They've lost spouses, right? These are difficult things to get through. But guess what that relative that is now an ancestor would say to you? If they were looking you dead in your face, they would tell you, I need you to check all of that and start working on what I couldn't do because I'm not here right now. You feel me? That's what they're going to say to you. So I'm going to say that for them, for you. Whatever you were doing, if you lost someone in the last 12 months that mattered to you, do something about it. Make a change now that's going to impact people around you. Because again, if those ancestors and people that you loved who are no longer here, if they were here, what would they say to you? What would they say to you right now? That's what I want you to think about. That's the agenda. That's what 2021 is about. That's what being intelligent and strategic is about. That's what looking at all of this is about. Look at it from that lens, and we are going to be great. All right. So folks, I'm out of time. Let me check these notes. Let me see what's going on in here. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh man. I got more to say, but Instagram's going to cut me off in 2 minutes. So I got to shut the hell up. Yes, Mind Investor. You got it, brother. Simply Charles, you understand. All right. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all. Love you guys, men, my women, the kids, the next generation, the youth. Just be good to each other. We're in this together. We've always been. Let's act like it. Let's be like it. Let's be one. All right. One love. Appreciate y'all. See you guys next week, Wednesday. And we're on Clubhouse at 9:30. So we'll spit some more fire in there. If you're on Clubhouse, join me. All right, y'all. Love you. Later. Hey. All right. So YouTube, you know the deal. Appreciate y'all over here. We've got to create that legacy for each other, for sure, for sure. And one last thing I'll say is, you know, this cannabis space is real, and it's been used to kill us, it's been used to keep us down. We're not going to let it be used to not make us wealthy. We're going to make sure that we take advantage of that one. That's not one that's going to go by us. So, folks, look at your cannabis stocks. Look at all of the ones that you have. Look at their charts for the last 6 months. Start picking out the ones that have performed the best, ones that are connected to international markets like New York. Invest in them. Start now. You have the green light. Go. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. See you guys in Clubhouse. All right. Later.